All right. My guest today is a leader I had the privilege of working with and learning from. His name is Eduardo Vargas. Edu is the co-founder and CEO of LoopStudio, the company he built from the ground up with his two college best friends, a firm that has become a trusted partner to cybersecurity startups across the US. His influence extends far beyond our company walls. He's also the vice president of markets at CUTI, the Uruguayan Tech Chamber. And in effect, he's helping architect the future of an entire nation's tech ecosystem there in your role, right? And on top of that, you serve as a dedicated startup advisor and mentor, guiding the next generation of founders on their own journeys. Impressive. He is at his core an ecosystem builder, a product designer by trade, and as we'll find out today, a master of building the one thing you can call trust. Edu, it's a genuine pleasure having you here.
Thank you, Andy. But also, I'm gonna add something. It's not just, I'm learning also from you. So I enjoy every day working together, also as a friend. Yeah, but I think you mentioned a lot of things about me, and it's a pleasure what we are gonna share here, because learning for me, it's every day. It's like you never stop learning. Even if I'm advising a startup, I'm learning from them. Even working with the chamber, I'm learning. Here, I'm learning every day. It's a non-stop process of growth. So I'm happy to be here.
Fantastic. Well, if you're okay with it, I would like to start this conversation by going way back before LoopStudio. Could you tell us a little bit about your origins and backstory? Just take me to that moment, okay? Like, how was your life before LoopStudio?
That's a really good question, because I think my life and my previous jobs before LoopStudio put in my mindset the company that I imagine for work and the company that I imagine for people at level of culture. I never worked for a multinational or for a formal company. Most of my previous jobs were with startups or small agencies with really bad leaders. Micromanagers that they put a lot of anger and punish you every moment of your life. But also they show me some nice things, like working with startups, working with entrepreneurs, working with people with visionaries, but not with visionaries, because that put me on the step by step to say, okay, what I'm gonna focus. And if I build something or if I work in a company, I want to build on the basis of the culture of the people, of the culture of the knowledge, and the culture of sharing and just throwing and solve problems for the team. And I need to trust with the people that I work. I don't want to be a micromanager. So that's part of my foundations. And also, you mentioned in the intro, previous product designer. I started working as a photographer, as a food photographer, as a web designer, product designer. A lot of things on my path that made me understand the technology and the world of building products different. And I think that helped me to be like, I can work in whatever you put me in front, but I'm gonna try to solve that. So
that's impressive, but still, you were super young. I mean, you did a lot of things at a very young age, but looking back, LoopStudio was founded, in 2014? And you did it with Augusto and Agustin while basically you were just starting your career. You met in college, you became friends. Before we talk a little bit about LoopStudio, I want to know a little bit about that moment when you, Augusto and Agustin, decided to work together. Because there's a lot of literature that advises you to not work with your best friends, but yet you did it and you're here 11 years after. How was that?
Yeah, I think there is a key for that. Is like when you have friends and between all of you, you are complementary and you know the role. At some point, you know the role of each one. In the first time, of course, it was like the three of us deciding what kind of toilet paper we are gonna buy, even if we are gonna hire someone. But you start to build some different relation, and you also grow the friendship with them when things go good. So it's like, or bad, because you also learn how we will solve problems together. But previous of LoopStudio, we co-founded a product named Delivery in Casa that we failed because, of course, young people, friends, trying to do something for us. The problem was not for us. We didn't do our research, something that, thanks God, we have really good people in Loop helping entrepreneurs to do the research, doing the product discoveries, something that we never had in our mind. It was like, let's build something that it will solve our problems. But after that, we realized, okay, we work in a product together, we can do services together, we can do whatever together, because we share some passion and we know the place for each one. So that was good.
That's very cool. That's very interesting. And you mentioned that you went through a lot of good and bad things in those early days. What do you remember as the top moments or memories that come to mind from the early ages? No? So let's think about the first 1 to 4 years of your work together.
Yeah. First of all, I think the first 5 years of LoopStudio was not a company.
Why do you say that?
It was just friends trying to build something, and I think it was like just pushing a dream. Then the company started to be a real company. But yeah, I think we pass and we keep living some good and bad moments today, and that's part of the fears and the imagination that we have in every moment. But in the early days, I was talking today, for example, with Agustin and Augusto, and we mentioned something good at that moment. The first office that we rented, that were like, whoa, we feel like we are Steve Jobs. We have an office. We have our first employee. That's a goal. And today we see that and it's like, oh my God, how that happened? Or the first client that had problems, who will get another client? How we get new clients? It was like small problems that they repeat today at a bigger scale. But it's like, we keep learning about that. For that reason, I think it's good to have good people, not just good partners, good leaders that they work around you that help you to keep learning and to keep growing in a good scene.
Yeah, but I can imagine at that time when it was just the three of you probably making, like you said, even what kind of toilet paper they were going to buy, you had to debate together. You must have had a lot of moments where your friendship was tested. And I mean, moments that were very tough and stressful, where you ended up learning from it, but still it was a situation where you had to step up.
Yeah.
What can you remember of, for example, those days when learning how to deal with a complex decision, like moments where the dynamic between you three had to change into something better?
Yeah, I think in the early days, the most complex decisions were the most stupid decisions. Sorry for that, but why? Because when something bad happened, like losing a client, we all the time put all of us together and try to work together to solve it. But for example, I remember this story now. Our second office that we rented, we used to be in a co-work space. We moved to an apartment. We started to grow, but in one point we realized we were, I think, 8 people in a small apartment, but it was like 6 guys, two girls in the company, and we just had one bathroom. That was a mess.
Wow.
So that kind of problems get and put us in more difficult decisions than we need to change an office, what we will do. And it was like more discussions around that than how we solve to save the company with a loss in a client. Because also I think in the big problems, we all the time put put us together, but also each one of us, it was natural the role decision around us, because we found like, okay, you're good doing this, you enjoy doing that kind of things. The roles for us get more natural than the three of us fighting who will be the CEO, who will be the COO, or that kind of stuff. It were more natural decisions that sometimes I say, they really trust on me. How they put me in front of the line and say, okay, good luck, and they follow my mindset, or they follow my crazy ideas sometimes that I throw to the board of directors and say me, okay, do it. Say, challenge me, please. Challenge me at some point. And I think that kind of things are part also of the friendship and growing as partners.
It does sound like you three complement each other very well. Now, I'm gonna go off the script with this one. If you had to put a label in each one of you three, what would it be?
Augusto is always, he always put everything in order. He always ran around the process, and he always had the good questions. He questioned your work with a good sense, to not to test you, but yes, to challenge you if you are seeing the other scenarios. So he always go with the good decisions around that. Agustin is always the one, he tries to put something new, and he tries to put something into the next level, helping us to put in order, and he always follow the processes. He never, and I'm out of control. I'm a visionary. I'm just trying to follow the tendencies, and lucky for me, I have both of them putting me in order, questioning me some things today, and growing around that.
That's very cool. That's good. Let's go back a little bit to, I would like to talk a little bit about the origins and the initial strategy of Loop. I mean, something that really struck me out always was that since day one, you build a company to sell to the US, which is a little bit different than a traditional sense of building a company that is involved in the local market. You always looked at the US market as the place you want to be at. Where did this conviction come from? Like, why not just start local?
That's a really good question. First of all, when we started the company, we saw that a lot of companies start to grow in the US market. And we saw that, and it was like, why we will not have an opportunity there? Lucky of us, a former partner of the company got her first client on a platform named Upwork. And when we start to do our research on that platform, it was like a Uruguayan company in 1 year, or I don't know, 2 years, got to a crazy amount of sales on that platform being an agency. So we say, if they can do that, why will not do that? So we start to try getting customers there. We got our first 2 or 3 customers, never something that really grow. But also in our mindset was, if we try to sell local, we need to be a friend of a friend, or we'll need to be really well connected. And for us, it was like crazy to get on that scenario. So we say, okay, if we will try to do something, let's try to do something far away at least. And I remember in our first trials, we were like, okay, how we will get clients? And it was like, okay, if it's not Upwork, it was gonna be another platform. So we start to try everything to get our second, third, fourth client, just messaging people on, I don't know, job sales on the newspapers. It was like reading newspapers, literally, finding the jobs and sending, okay, we have a new opportunity. We want that opportunity. And yeah, it was tough because even we didn't have the budget to travel. For us, it was like 3 kids trying to sell services with a poor English and poor sales skills, trying to sell something. So it was really complicated on the first days.
So, Edu, We talked about these first years and the first challenges you had. There's a moment in time, I don't remember exactly when you grew from being just a handful of 10, 15 people to over 50, even 60 people in just a span of a year or even less. Like, that's a massive shift in everything. How did that happen?
Yeah, that was a crazy moment and a good moment for us as a company. We used to have a client, a small startup based in Texas, that we start to work with them since the conception of the idea almost. And after 2 years working with them with a small team of 3 people, they got acquired. And in that moment, after 2 years working together, they will not just be as clients, they were friends for us and we were friends for them. And they start to make some intros for us, so we will not keep out of the company, but also they start to make intros internally after they sell the company, to the new buyer. Wow. And the new buyer like what we did, and when we realize they will not just been asking for us for developers or designers, we start to receive about project managers. And
you had never hired one before?
No, never. Project managers and QA engineers. So it was like, how we hire them, what we will do. And even, Uruguay is small. We just have almost 20,000 people around here. So where we hire people?
And that was when in time?
Almost 2020, around 2022.
That was pandemic time.
Yeah. In pandemic, it was a really difficult moment for us, because even if we work for US, we were really dependent of going to the office, and our culture was based on the friendship of the company and how we build and connect between people, something that it was really important for us. And after 3 months of pandemic, it was like a mess, like how we build our remote culture, how we work far away from our lunch table, how we work far away of our ping pong table.
Right, you had a big house.
We had a big house.
And people would spend a lot of time there besides working.
Yes. And it was incredible that when being in our houses, it was like you wake up and you can work for any company remotely. How we build the culture of retain people and people feel part of something that is wherever it is.
So let me get it straight. We were in the middle of the pandemic. We were at the times of a lot of change, where we had to go from being a company that went to work every day to a huge house that had a lot of amenities and people had a lot of fun there and built friendships. Now everybody's at home, stressed out. We get this huge contract, we need to hire, but yet we need to change the culture, understand how to work remotely, and people start quitting.
Yeah, no, in real, the contract we get in 2022, we start to be remote in 2020 in the pandemic.
Okay.
In 2020, we decided to hire our first remote person outside of Uruguay, in Argentina. A crazy experience, because it was not in Buenos Aires, it was in Cordoba, so it was a little bit far away. But it was just him until 2022. In 2022 was the key when we start to grow fast and we realize, okay, we're gonna need to hire more people in Argentina. And when we realized it was a company of maybe 30 people in Uruguay and 30 people in Argentina, it was crazy, because when we realized even in Uruguay it's easy to hire everyone in Montevideo, because a small country, capital is the biggest city, it moves around that. In Argentina, when we realized, it was like a lot of people in Buenos Aires, but Buenos Aires is a huge city. Everyone was 1 hour away from each one. People in Cordoba, it was like, how we made a good place to work even for them. Because at that point, even if we had an office, we were like, okay, how we do something that it was perfect for all. Our first scene there, it was like meetings weekly with all the team, trying to share weekly meetings with me. I used to have like an event just with a small group of people every week, every day almost, trying to feel them at home in some scenario, even if they were been working at their homes.
Coffee with Edu.
Coffee with Edu. Yeah, on a game, playing games, playing cards, just coffee talk. And that was really difficult, but even it was difficult to retain people on pandemic, and it was not easy how to make people feel like they are working or retain the culture or build something that is for everyone. It was really difficult, and I think it keeps being difficult because it's not easy today. We have almost people, Colombia, Peru, Chile, Argentina, Germany. So how we made a place that remotely is good for everyone and they feel everyone part of the company with no difference that you are in Uruguay, you are in Chile, you are wherever you are. And every day is a challenge to know and to understand the needs of at least everyone. Because even if you are in different country, you're born with a different culture. You have different of everything, even music.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I mean, this is a very complex situation where you guys were. Where did you or do you look for advice?
That's a really good question. We always, since the inception of the company, try to have advisors in different places of the company. First, when we start to, even if the roles appear naturally, we have some advisors around us helping. Then we change of advisors. On 2020, we start to work with Beyond Partners, a company, Jorge and Diego and Leticia. They start to help us with different things, trying to put some things in order in the operations, in the sales, even in the culture. And then I always like to talk with people and be surrounded on my daily life. So I try to ask everyone how they are doing some things and try to bring ideas internally, because there's a lot of people that they have a lot more experience, or even with sometimes with less experience, they have more problems than us. So we start to learn how they solve everything. So that was good. And today we have an incredible board working with Andres Guarino that he's helping a lot of us inside of the operation almost. So it's a challenge to have good people around you just for advising and to listen and to receive the good and bad news.
That's fascinating. Yeah, definitely something that has helped you, and it's been your support structure for a long time, right?
Yes.
I wanna slowly switch the conversation into a different direction now, which is for me the most fascinating pivot that LoopStudio has had in the history, I would say. Like about 3 years ago, you decided to pivot the market strategy towards serving cybersecurity founders, which is, I mean, arguably the most skeptical, high-stakes, zero-trust industry on earth. Like, these are paranoid most of the times about sharing or working, but we found that they've been extremely collaborative. Could you walk us through how this happened and why?
Yeah, that's a really good one, because back early days, I remember in 2020 we got a client on a gaming industry. I remember when we finished 2020, he said, maybe next year we're gonna be a gaming company.
No way.
Yeah, it was crazy to think that. But in 2020 we met Cody and Mark, these good people that put us in the...
These are the same from earlier that you mentioned.
Early company, Alpha Wave. They put us in the cybersecurity industry, and even if we didn't realize at that moment, it was a small door that started to open more and more and more doors. And the company that acquired them, ZeroFox, it was also a cyber company. So it was more people in our network growing and growing and growing. But 3 years ago, when we start to say, okay, we need to put some focus inside of the company, we can be pivoting in every industry because the competition even around the world is tough. It was a moment that a lot of companies around the world start to do layoffs. So luckily, I have an amazing team, an amazing chief of growth, and amazing partners. So we start to talk about where we will put our bullets, because money is not easy to get and we need to invest good. And we start to do our research. Where are our friends, as I mentioned, friends like Cody and Mark. And thanks to them, we met Robert Ronswell, a really good friend and our CISO advisor internally. And we said, okay, we have friends on this industry. How we get there? Can we get more friends? Can we open more doors? So at that moment, we put an idea that today is more like a reality. It was Loop +3. So how in 3 years we start to be a reference in a cybersecurity industry, being the product developers for that industry, the product designers. And
what does that mean?
that means we are not cybersecurity rescuers, or we don't do cybersecurity per se. We are the engineers and the designers that work with cybersecurity companies to build their products. We help entrepreneurs or companies that they need to innovate or need to build new ideas around them. We have a talented design team that they know the user experience and the perfect graphics and the perfect user experience that they need on that industry. Luckily, thanks to Looking Glass, because we build there more than 8 or 10 products. So we start to approach and start to learn where they need more help. And it was on the design and the front-end development. So we start to put focus on that, and today I'm gonna say we can help that companies in every way.
That's interesting. What would you say are the 3 top strategic initiatives we've taken in the company to position ourselves in the cybersecurity market in the US as a top development partner?
The first one is, you mentioned, this company is Zero Trust. And I think we learned a lot thanks to Robert, the secure code development. That's our basis. We need to know that internally, and that's something that we need to put in front of everyone. We develop with that basis. Then to put the user experience and how we work on the designer, on the product discovery, and the idealization of that kind of products. So we need to show them how we will build their products usable. A couple of days ago, I was on a VC firm visiting a friend, and they have a paper. We are the venture capital for cybersecurity companies because we want a cybersecurity world. And I'm gonna say we are the agency that build usable products on cybersecurity because we want everyone using cybersecurity products. I start to feel like, and that's something that when you start to realize and you start to get deeper, you start to be more paranoid, I'm gonna say, and you start to be also, how these products, they're not approachable for everyone. And when our clients say, it's awesome, people can see the data, can see everything. Thanks to you guys, I feel like, wow, we have an amazing team. And it's in every scenario.
So Edu, we've been talking about this pivot to cybersecurity, which is very impressive. Now, you're a designer, right? And I would like to enter into the territory of how you network and build relationships, which is, I think, a core part of selling services, because we always say we build friendships, right? Now, let's design the process of building relationships in the cyber market in the US, which has been a little complex, right? Could you maybe do a step-by-step of how you build a trustful relationship with someone in this market?
Yeah, that's a really, it's a complicated question, even if you ask me and share it with me, because to build a relationship is not easy in any way. We need to start to, first you need to put everything of, if you're shy, everything out of you. You need to be like, go ahead and be an icebreaker every time that you try to talk with someone. And first of all, if you talk with someone at an event, try to talk with everyone, or at least a good portion of people. But then when you start to talk with someone, don't go to say, I'm a seller, I'm doing this. For me, it's more like, go to learn about the person. Who is the person in front of you? What you are talking with them? Build a friendship. Business will get everything after that, but when you start to talk with people and you start to understand their needs, understand what they are doing, because you never know when you start to talk with someone at an event if they're gonna need you, if they are running a project, even maybe if they are famous and you know, and I wanna talk with him. It's like, try to build something special with that person, something that it will go step by step growing inside. Maybe he doesn't need you, but he have the friend that needs you. But that just happens if you start to do your work. Learn about the person, keep in touch with the person, visit them constantly. Just share a coffee. Coffee by coffee will get you into a dinner, into a friend, into a barbecue, into a project.
And that is an atypical approach, leaving the transactional item apart. And I hear you, and it's about staying curious and genuinely interested about getting to know the people, right? Learning from them and figuring out also how can you help them? Not necessarily selling what you do, but helping them also with your connections, right? I mean, you've put in touch a lot of people of the industry in the US with people in Uruguay, right?
Yes, but also when you are in the mind of someone, you're gonna be in mind of them as a friend or as a seller. If you're in their mind as a friend, you're gonna be a problem solver, someone that they wanna have you all the time around you. If you're a seller, there are sellers around everywhere. They just can Google you. If there is something that they take care for, it's like, I wanna be in touch with you again.
That is so powerful. It sounds, yeah, like I said in the beginning, your ecosystem builder mindset, right?
Yes.
Let's touch a little bit on that. Like, besides Loop, you've managed to get into the tech chamber, you're pushing it forward to new levels, you're helping startups, not just in Uruguay, but in different parts of the world. What's your long-term vision here when you think about your professional growth and your role in doing all of these things?
That's an interesting question, because I don't see it as a profession, but we're gonna see where that gets. But I think entrepreneurs and people on the ecosystem, more in the tech ecosystem, we have a huge responsibility about sharing the knowledge with others and connecting the dots. And just in that way, we will keep growing this industry. I mentioned earlier, Uruguay is a small country. We are just 20,000 people. And there are huge opportunities for everyone in the US or the world. So if opportunity is not for me, it's gonna be for someone in my ecosystem. And I wanna share that with them. After that, maybe that will get back to me in another opportunity. They will remember me, as I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, as a friend, as someone in their mind. I remember my first trip with Kuti in 2018. I was on an event talking with some people, and I was talking with a old lady that he used to had some needs in Microsoft. I said, we don't work with Microsoft projects, but in my delegation is someone. I made an intro. the guy after that intro told me like, you lose that opportunity. No, I didn't lose that opportunity. That person will remember all the time that I was the person that referred a good problem solver for his problem. And even that person keep in touch with me. He's a friend today. She's a friend. He's a friend, because I connect just the dots, and I want that for the industry.
That is so powerful. And I mean, you've managed to go from being a young product designer working for very small startups into doing all of this stuff at a high level in just a decade. Now, what happens in the next 10 years?
Oh, we don't know. Every 2 years, we saw a new revolution. 4 years ago was blockchain, today is AI. I don't know, but something that I already know, it's we are working in the industry and we are solving some problems that we can solve for every industry. We're working hard with secure code development, and that is not just for cybersecurity, it's for cross industries, and we need to spread the word and work and help the companies to build secure products, because the bad guys are everywhere, and now we are a little bit paranoid, we need to help, but it's also to put people on the scene like, let's take care of our investment, because technology is investment, and technology is not like the big tech companies. Every company is a technology company today. Everyone is using software, and you want to use secure software.
Brilliant, Edu, brilliant. So we can expect that the company slowly transitions into becoming a referent in the secure code development world.
That's the idea, and luckily we have a good team of leaders spreading the word and building that pillars for that.
Fantastic. I do have one final question. As a builder, you built a life, a brotherhood, a global company from scratch. What is the one belief that you hold about the power of human relationships that you'll never read in a business book?
It's
a tough one.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. But business books never tell you build friends. Everyone talk about customers. Everyone talk about build projects, and I think we are with our mindset inside on Loop, and I think it's around thanks to everyone, and thanks to the culture that we are building. And I hope one day one here will be maybe write a book about that and teach about that in some scenario that business is not just transactional. At the end, yes, because everyone wants to do some money, but it's like how we made fun also doing that.
Fantastic, Edu. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Andy. It's good have you doing this interview.
All right.